As the new episodes of The Rings of Power are coming out, we're learning more and more about the characters. And on top of that, the actors behind them are sharing new, exciting details.
It's a very particular, very singular experience that I know I'll never experience anything like it again.
Yeah.
Let's see who kept on fighting for his role even after 2 rejections. Who gave birth to a baby days after auditioning? And which actress passed out upon learning that she'd landed a role? We're starting with Ismael Cruz Córdova as Arondir. When he watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy as a teen, the elves resonated with him most of all. Ismael was especially touched by their spiritual communion with nature, because he felt that too. But he never even dreamed of playing an elf because all of them were white. Little did he know that he'd make history one day by becoming the first actor of color to portray an elf in a Tolkien project. It was the Fellowship of the Ring that inspired Ismael to become an actor. The design, the community, the vast opportunities, it was a real thing. You could actually make a life in this, he realized back then. After getting a community development prize that funded his travel, he headed to New York. Soon, his career began, and the secret dream of playing an elf didn't go anywhere. As soon as he found out that Amazon was planning a Lord of the Rings series, he went for it. He auditioned for months and got rejected twice, but he didn't stop until he got the role. Ismael suspected his being cast would cause controversy because not everyone's ready to see actors of color in fantasy films, but he was ready to stand his ground.
I was very ferocious about it. I said, no, we're gonna keep fighting for this thing.
And his perseverance paid off. His dream came true, just like it did for his on-screen love. Nazanin Boniadi as Bronwyn. There's an interesting connection between this actress and her character. You know that Bronwyn is a healer, but did you know that Boniadi was planning to become a doctor? She has a degree in biology and she graduated with honors. Only when Nazanin was in her mid-20s did she decide to get into acting. She loved playing Bronwyn because of how her love story strikes a chord with real-life couples who struggle to be accepted. That forbidden romance has underlying meaning and resonance, the actress shared. Besides that, Nazanin loved how many strong female leads The Rings of Power has. Being a women's rights activist, she found it very important and inspiring. These days, the actress has too many things going on to find time to date, but there are rumors that she was almost set up with Tom Cruise by his very controversial church. It happened back in 2004. Boniadi dated the renowned actor for only a few months before breaking up with him and quitting the church. Quite a story to tell your grandkids, huh? And we're moving on. Robert Aramayo as Elrond. Can you believe the first book he ever read was The Hobbit? For as long as he can remember, the actor loved reading and rereading Tolkien's books. So you can imagine how thrilled Robert was when he got the role. This time, he's able to explore this beloved world on a totally different level. What he loves the most about Elrond is how the elf constantly listens to his heart. There's always an emotional attachment to any decision that he's making, which just makes everything more fun, the actor said. To prepare for the role, Aramayo dug as deep as he could, rereading all of Tolkien's books and rewatching the films once again. But interestingly, Hugo Weaving's performance in The Lord of the Rings wasn't that much of an inspiration. Robert says that his version of Elrond has a long way to go to become the elf we know from the original trilogy. We're yet to see how his character will change and grow throughout the series, and Robert is so involved in it all right now that he doesn't have any time left for his personal life. So, the guy's still single, unlike his co-star. Benjamin Walker as Gil-galad. He's married to his second wife, actress Kate Scodelario. They met on the set of The King's Daughter and got married only a year later. Now they're happy parents to their 2 kids. And of course, both of them are still pursuing their successful careers. When Benjamin was cast as Gil-galad, his wife was ecstatic. And ever since then, she's been nothing but supportive of the hard work he's had to do. After all, everyone in his family knows that he's a fan. Similar to Rob Aramayo, Benjamin has always enjoyed reading Tolkien's books, so he understood the pressure of playing the King of Elves. But the actor didn't mind it. I want to feel nervous because I want to get it right, and I want to make sure that I'm working as hard as I can and we're getting the best out of everyone, he said. When Walker was asked which episode was his favorite, he shared that it was the first one, for quite selfish reasons.
It's gonna be the first time you meet Gil-galad.
But that's not the only reason why. Benjamin also loved the way the first episode introduced the viewer to Middle-earth.
Okay, here we go. We're going on this journey. The first step.
It was actually a great first step, don't you think? Now let's talk about the next important character. Owain Arthur as Durin IV. If you look at his Instagram page, you can guess that he isn't dating anyone, but has a beloved dog named Smith, because this little guy's photos are all over Arthur's page, as are the promotional materials for the Rings of Power. The actor loved playing Durin, especially his comedic side, and it was also interesting for him to show that the Dwarf Prince is more than just a fun guy. We discovered that he's got a heart and quite a sensitive soul as well, Arthur shared. Every time he transformed into Durin, Owain got a shock, because when he looked into the mirror, he couldn't even recognize himself. You move your face, and it's almost like I've got the remote controls of this character and I can just move his body parts, but it's certainly not me looking back. Yeah, that would certainly feel eerie. If you want to learn more about how his character was created, watch our video about the behind-the-scenes secrets of the Rings of Power. But first, stay with us till the end, because we're moving on to Durin's on-screen wife and the first ever female dwarf shown in a Tolkien project. Visit our awesome merch shop. We have branded t-shirts, hoodies, eco bags, and even phone cases. You can choose between dozens of unique and awesome designs. Click the link under the video and find your perfect match. Sophia Nomvete as Disa. When she auditioned for the role, the actress was heavily pregnant with her daughter. And when she was cast, she had to travel to New Zealand together with her husband Daniel Cox and her baby girl, who was only 10 weeks old. So you can imagine how challenging it was for Sophia. But thanks to the cast and crew, as well as to her hugely supportive hubby, it wasn't as hard as it could have been. Because even her costume was designed in such a way that she could breastfeed her daughter anytime in between takes.
Huge kudos for the team at Amazon for supporting a new mother.
After all the hard work Sophia put into filming, it hurt her to face the backlash. But once again, her castmates supported her. According to Robert Aramayo, no one could play the dwarf princess better than Nomvete did. She's absolutely phenomenal. She teaches me so much every day that I work with her. She's one of my closest friends, the actor shared. Well, we can't help but agree that she's great in the role. In real life, Sophia is just as nurturing and funny as Disa is in the series. So she really managed to connect with her character on many levels. Just like this gal. Markella Kavenagh as Nori. You could say that this 22-year-old Australian actress hit the jackpot by getting into the Rings of Power. Not long ago, she was just an aspiring actress with little to no credits to her name. One day, Markella was working her normal job at a fashion store when she got a call. Her agent offered her an audition for a new Amazon show, and soon the role was hers. The actress's favorite thing about Nori is how resolute she is and how she cares for her loved ones. But on the other hand, Markella sometimes finds her character quite frustrating. I would get a script and be like, why's she doing that? Come on. Naturally, Markella put a lot of work into preparing to play her character. She even had sessions with movement coaches to ensure a perfect portrayal of a Harfoot. It felt surreal for the actress to do all this stuff because she's always been a fan of Tolkien's works.
I'd read the books when I was younger and they were a bit of a family favourite, and same with the films.
We can only guess how incredible it felt to suddenly find herself in Middle-earth. It's a world that's full of fascinating characters, some of which are quite mysterious. Charlie Vickers as Halbrand. This guy is one of the most cryptic figures in the series right now. It's unclear who he is and what his agenda is. Some fan theories suggest that he's the Dark Lord Sauron himself. We're yet to see if it's true, but now let's talk about the actor himself. Charlie Vickers spent quite a lot of time preparing for his role. First of all, he had to improve his swimming skills.
We learned to free dive, to spend a bunch of time underwater, which was a grueling, difficult, challenging process.
And he also did a lot of combat training, jogging, and other exercises to boost his strength. Similarly to the other cast members, Vickers enjoyed making the series, and his favorite episode was the last one. But the actor wouldn't say why, for obvious reasons. And finally, let's talk about the glorious elf who becomes very much connected with Charlie's Halbrand. Morfydd Clark as Galadriel. Let me tell you the funny story of how she found out that she'd got the role in the Rings of Power. The actress was at the premiere of her film The Personal History of David Copperfield in Toronto, when she got a call from the studio. Of course, Morfydd had to keep quiet about landing the part and just stay cool. As she was at the premiere, the actress couldn't stop thinking about it.
Wow, I've got the job in Lord of the Rings.
During a Q&A, her emotions took their toll.
And just hit the deck, just passed out.
That's right, she fainted in front of everyone, and it was actually caught on film.
You kind of see me wandering off, slightly glassy-eyed, and then I was caught by a security guard.
The funniest thing is that Morfydd had no idea that she was going to play Galadriel. All she knew was that she'd got the role of an elf in a Lord of the Rings series. Only when she arrived in New Zealand did she find out the whole truth. What she loves the most about Galadriel is her fearlessness and immense power. Morfydd said that it was quite liberating for her to portray those qualities, because she herself is quite fearful and not powerful physically. So she felt great learning those things from her character. If you want to find out more details about the Rings of Power, watch our video on the behind-the-scenes secrets. Support OSSA by sending a super thanks. Just click on the thanks button under the video and choose an amount to donate. Stay awesome, and remember, we value each one of you.